Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well and welcome back. I'm working on two videos. One in particular on some characters popping up in the news in LA, Hollywood, etc. But I am considering posting it on my website instead of on here, as I'm fairly sure that not only will the video be demonetized, but it may receive a few complaints as well from the woke set. But I'll sleep on it for a few days and reevaluate the content before posting it anywhere. And once I do, I will let you know where you can watch it. The second one is a video I made with the intention of posting it on my website, but then Prince Philip passed away and I felt it would be disrespectful to post it anywhere. So I'm re-editing that one and it should be up somewhere. And again, I'll let you know where you can see it sometime over the weekend. Today's video will thus not be my usual type of researched material. It will be largely unscripted and me just talking to you about things which were happening around me, how I'm feeling about the whole Harry and Meghan mess, and so forth. Okay, first things first. I received quite a bit of backlash from my last video. Not so much on YouTube, but quite a few via email and on Instagram. One common theme in a few of these comments was that I am South African, know nothing about the British royal family, that it has nothing to do with me, that I have no right to criticize the royal family or the Queen, and that I should just basically shut up. Well, I replied to some of those comments and email, and although I am going to attempt to post one of my replies, there are a few others. I'm narrating this before I'm actually putting the pictures in, so at this point, I'm hoping that I can put my reply in, and if I do, you can read the reply by pausing the screen for a while. But basically, my comments read as follows. Yes, I am South African. I was born here and have never lied or pretended to be something or someone else. But not all South Africans are as ignorant or as dumb as the world would like to believe. I came from a family where, on my father's side, we still have strong links to Britain and Scotland, and we were very much brought up with European values and traditions. Both my parents were ex-teachers, widely read, and in particular my father was well versed and read extensively on South African, British and Scottish history, and my brother followed in his footsteps. My father, brother, and my brother's son all still carry the Scottish family names. And at my sister's wedding, she entered the church with the sound of bagpipes playing outside in honor of my father and our family history. Added to that, my matric farewell dress design was based on one of Princess Diana's outfits. We followed the royals in magazines, which my mother bought weekly, and newspapers, which incidentally my father taught me to read before I went to school. We had books and encyclopedias available to us all over the house, and to this day, I read on the toilet or in the bath. I've not missed watching a single royal wedding since the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. As you may know, Earl Spencer and his first wife lived in South Africa, and cousins of mine were familiar with his children. So my interest in the royal family was a constant in my life. It was an interest, and when I was younger and I was still sticking cuttings into a scrapbook, you could even say it used to be a hobby. As you will know, South Africa was also a Commonwealth country up until 1961, But although they left the Commonwealth at the time, South Africa rejoined in 1994. As someone with half a brain and with family connections to Britain and Scotland, I thus had no reason or opportunity to remain ignorant about the royal family, and following their public and sometimes not so public lives stuck with me for the rest of my life. When it comes to the comments and backlash on my last video and comments I've made on Instagram, I have the following reply. Even as a South African, it is likely that I know more and have more books on the royal family than your average British citizen. And therefore, I know that Britain has a constitutional monarchy and not an absolute monarchy. In the last year, there had been numerous polls taken in Britain and elsewhere. British polls showed that more than 90% of the British people want Harry to lose his titles or have it put in abeyance. Foreign polls had shown that between 46 and 52% of people are in favour of Harry's titles being stripped or put in abeyance. These polls had been done over a period of almost a year. But you see, the backlash included statements like, "You don't understand, blah, blah, blah. The Queen is powerless to change anything, blah, blah, blah." And now I'm going to say this for the last time. The Queen is not powerless. After the First World War, royals with ties to Germany had their titles stripped. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth II herself included females in their full capacity to take their positions according to order of birth in the line of succession via a letters patent. I'm not going to go into the full details, dates, rules, laws, and history, as I have done videos, I can't remember, at least one, maybe more, on that already, and have spoken about it ad nauseum. Paula M. have spoken about it. Lady C. had spoken about it. And if none of us can convince you, and Google and Wikipedia and all of the British Parliament, the House of Lords, cannot convince you, then nothing will. I shall only be wasting my breath. The whole point is, the first move must come from the Queen. Her letters patent will go to Parliament. It will lay there for perusal or debate for 40 days, and then there can be, or maybe even will be, a vote on it. And with a majority vote, that will be the end of it. Putting the titles in abeyance will not even require that. Harry can purely write a letter to the Queen, or the Queen can have one drafted for him to sign. Yes, this is putting it simplistically. Obviously, there will be lawyers and advisors, etc., involved, and letters and documents will be drafted and redrafted. There will be talks and obviously negotiations with Harry. But my point is, it can be done. And now more than a year has passed, so if there was any intention, it would have been done by now. So, in my opinion, the Queen is currently not acting like a constitutional monarch in this regard, but acting like an absolute monarch in this instance. Having said that, I fully agree that there may be other dynamics at play behind the scenes. I actually do sense a division in the senior or more prominent members of the royal family. I sense a division which could, at the end of the day, be more critical and even more disastrous to the royal family than the actual Harry and Meghan shenanigans. The only thing is that Harry and Meghan were the ones who opened the can of worms and still are keeping it open to scrutiny. It is said that even some members of the royal family, courtiers, various aristocrats, and even politicians believe the palace should cut ties with Harry. So that leaves me to ask, where is the problem? The problem is and remains that the Queen has to make the first move to put all of this in motion. So why isn't she? Obviously, there are many theories. She's old and tired and just does not feel up to all the ensuing drama. She would rather just do a few duties and spend the rest of the time with her head in the sand, hoping that at some point it will all blow over and go away. And if this is the case, then I cannot fully blame her. I'm 30-something years younger than the Queen, and I sometimes feel like that. The other theory is that Harry and Meghan are blackmailing the firm, that they have some snippet of information that the palace does not want revealed. Another theory is that the rift between the royal family and Harry and Meghan is not as big as we are made to believe. Yet another theory is that Harry and Meghan are being used to distract from other issues and or nefarious goings on within the royal family or members of the royal family. And then there's another theory that Harry and Meghan are the vessel through which money will leave Britain and be stashed in the United States. I personally do not have the answer, but I do have a hunch. And my hunch is that it is a little of everything I had just said. Some of the other comments were that I'm being disrespectful to the Queen, that I hate the Queen, that I'm blaming the Queen for the actions of two adult and free people, and so on and so on. And none of this is actually true. The fact is that as of this very day, the Queen is still the head of state. She is still the head of the Church of England and is still the head of the Commonwealth. And therefore, there is no one else we can turn to, no one else we can expect to act in this matter. And as much as I hate to add pressure or be part of any group to put pressure on a 95-year-old woman, it is not because of me or you that Her Majesty still holds these positions. In one of the email or DMs, someone even said that I am threatening the Queen of England. Now, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard or read. I'm a nobody. I'm a middle-aged woman living in a little rural town. I'm not even in a position to threaten anyone, let alone the Queen of England. And I don't think enough of myself to think that I can. I do, however, have serious questions about the conduct of the royal family at the moment. I am concerned about Prince Charles's involvement in the Great Reset or Global Reset. I am baffled by the need for a Prince's Trust USA, and I am concerned about their increasing involvement in politics. I am concerned about their influence and power over the judiciary. I am concerned that they have the power to exempt themselves from laws, etc., set for the average taxpayer. And lastly, I am concerned with their involvement with certain people, personalities, characters, politicians, celebrities, etc., from which it would serve the members of the royal family better to stay kilometers, if not continents away from. And although I vowed to keep this video short, I want to refer you to a few articles which you can read for yourselves. The one would be an article by the Daily Mail dated the 29th of July 2021 by Katie Weston titled Queen's Lawyers Secretly Lobbied Scottish Government for Balmoral Estate to be exempt from new climate change law. The other one is an article in The Guardian titled Revealed. Queen vetted 67 laws before Scottish Parliament could pass them. And this article was dated 28th of July 2021. You can also listen to or read about Prince Charles's speech at the Great Reset meeting of the World Economic Forum held in June 2020. To cut a long story short, I am starting to feel that Harry and Meghan are not the only ones wanting to tell us how to live, what to say or not say, when they should be able to live and travel and say what they want, when they want, and how they want to. And I'm very sorry if I'm giving offense, but I do not like this one law or rule for them and another for us. I just don't. Okay, folks, I'm going to take myself off to go work on those other two videos and the website, and I'll be back to tell you what you can go and view where. So until I get back to you, please take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.